Welcome to Classic Value Investors and Microcap Explosions. This is Mariusz Konieczny. In this video, I'm going to talk about gurus, which gurus to follow, and whether I follow any of the gurus. And it kind of gave me an idea for this video because I was listening to John Poloni in one of the videos he was talking about. And by the way, I really like John. I watched some of his videos. I like his philosophy, his wisdom, his his investment acumen. But he was talking about on this video about how there's wealthy people out there, very successful investors out there on Twitter, and they have websites, funds, and all that, and they share investment knowledge with the world. And because they're so wealthy and they achieve this wealth, it's very smart for us to read their stuff because it's out there for free. There's no excuse not to do it. And I thought to myself, why don't I follow these gurus? Because I really don't follow gurus, whether it's Warren Buffett, Joel Greenblatt, or Michael Burry. The only reason why I made a video about shorting Tesla, because it was all over Twitter that Michael Burry, the big short guy, shorted Tesla, so that's how I knew about it. But I really don't look at these people's 10 Fs or anything like that, or I don't read their letters. And I know there's a lot of people that do that, and I'm thinking, like, why don't I do that? And like, if you look at a website like gurufocus.com, it's like it was born based on the idea that people are interested in following what the famous investors are doing. When Warren Buffett buys airlines, or Delta or American Airlines that he did at the beginning of this COVID, many people piled into this trade because if Warren likes it, then therefore it must be good. And I never really followed these gurus, and here's why. Not because they're not smart, or because I'm stuck up and I think I'm too smart, my shit doesn't stink or anything like that. No, you see, the reason why I don't personally follow or read their work or their investment ideas is because they're not useful to me where I am with my wealth and with my investment journey. You see, in the investment world, think of a 100-meter dash, right? In track and field, 100-meter dash.
Paul ist der schnellste aus den Blöcken. Jetzt kommt er und jetzt ist Usain Bolt nicht zu halten. Nein, er gewinnt 9,5.
And imagine sumo wrestlers running a 100-meter dash, right? You'd probably laugh about it, right? And yet in the investment industry, the big names, big hedge fund managers, to me, they're like sumo wrestlers racing in a 100-meter dash. And the reason why I'm saying that is because these large investors are like sumo wrestlers because they have so much cash, right? They have so much cash, so they're kind of fat. And because they have so much money, they have very limited investment opportunities where they can put this money. And yet, all the media and everybody is focused on that. So when they share investment ideas, in my view, they share investment ideas, they share advice on how to be a faster sumo runner. I'm not interested in that because I am a lean, clean, fast machine, right? I'm not that wealthy. I don't have billions of dollars. Therefore, I can go into places that they couldn't even imagine going. And unfortunately, there's not a lot of people out there that are good at sharing the kind of ideas that I am interested in. And it's not just about investing in stocks. It's about investing capital and getting a return on capital. And it doesn't necessarily have to be money. It could be your time. So let me give you an example of ideas that made a lot of sense to me in the past, but don't necessarily make a lot of sense to me because I am in a different financial state. Some of you know that I'm a ballroom dancer. I'm a competitive ballroom dancer, and all of you have something in your life that you are very familiar with. And ballroom dancing is what I am familiar with, right? And I remember my girlfriend years ago wanted to learn how to make ballroom dresses because when you go to competitions, you have to have an outfit, and it's not something that you go to JCPenney and you just buy it and you go and compete. All of these costumes are custom made, so there's no scalability there for the manufacturers. So these dresses can cost $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. And it makes sense because to make a custom made, someone has to measure you, create a pattern, create the dress, create a design, and then make it custom fit to you. And yes, you can resell that dress for cheaper, but bottom line is it's expensive. So she wanted to learn how to make her own dresses, to save money and also to create her own creations. Well, at that time, there was nowhere you could learn about how to do it. So her complaint gave me an idea to create a product. But I mean, obviously I didn't know how to make ballroom dresses either. But I knew how to make videos because I already made Value Investing University, which was, a video collection teaching people about how to invest. So I already had a camera. I already know how to make DVDs. I already learned how to turn them into instructional videos. So one time we were in New York taking our dance lessons, and our coach asked us, what's your next dress going to be, and who is it going to make it? And I was like, well, do you know anybody that can make it? And she pointed to the guy next to us. Well, he can make it. So we started talking, and we developed this relationship with this designer. And after he made one of our dresses, I approached him and I said, hey, have you thought about making instructional videos on how to teach people how to make ballroom dresses? And of course he never thought about it, and he didn't have the skills to do it himself. So we partnered up. I brought the camera, I brought my knowledge how to build a website, how to do the video. He brought the knowledge on how to make the dresses. So we made the product. We made the product of 6 DVDs on how to make ballroom dresses, 3 or 4 DVDs on how to make guys' shirt, and another 3 or 4 how to make guys' pants. And it took us, I don't know, about a week to make this. And then I put out the website, put out previews about these DVDs on YouTube, and literally within days they started selling. And the product has been out, I don't know, for like 4 or 5 years, something like that. And for 1 week worth of work, I think we made like $80,000. Okay, so that's a huge return for the amount of time that we spent creating it. And there is still zero competition in the world. We continue to sell them. It's not a huge profit, because if you take about $80,000 over 5 years, it's not a lot of money. However, for the amount of time that we put into it, spent $0 on marketing, we created a product that was 100% profit margin, because really people just download it and it doesn't cost us anything. And there's people out there in the world that know how to make ballroom dresses, right? There's designers out there, but none of them bother to make instructional videos like this, because they all want to make dresses, right? They all want to waste their time putting 100 hours of their labor creating the dress and selling individual dress. We created something scalable that once we worked on it for a week, it just repeat sales, right? So this is an example of how a small person that knows about a particular problem can solve a problem, and for the amount of capital, their labor, their knowledge, can create a huge return on that particular labor or capital that would never be available buying a stock that Warren Buffett buys or Joel Greenblatt or whatever. Because again, they are in this category of sumo wrestlers running a 100-meter dash. And everybody pays attention to this, but I feel that individuals can create much better returns for themselves, solving the problems that they're just in front of their eyes. Another example could be, you can find, I don't know, a foreclosure property that is just this one perfect opportunity that can offer you very outstanding returns, but you're the only one that can seize that opportunity. A big hedge fund manager would have to find a huge office building or hundreds of properties like this, but you yourself can find opportunities like this that you can take opportunity, but they're not available for other people. Another example of a product is, watch this video here. So what this is a product that we created, my girlfriend and I. It's called a pie crust mold, and it came out of another problem that came from my girlfriend, because women complain a lot, right? I can't say it too loud, but they do. So I listen to the complaints and then see if I can create and solve that problem, and maybe create a product like this, for example, which is so tiny that it's not worth for the big companies to look at it. It's not even worth for anybody to copy me, because there's no money in it. But based on the amount of work that it costs me, it's worth it for me. So, for example, this is a product that helps people who are not very good at making pies to roll out the dough and make a perfectly circled pie dough to make a pie, right? A lot of people in everything, they're not good at the things that they do, so they need certain help. I mean, this product is not for people who are very good at making pies. This is for people who are not very good, and they're amateurs, and they want to make sure that the pie is a little circle, right? So we create this product, we sell it on Amazon, but we only sell about 200 of these a year. So it's very tiny. It's like $5,000 in revenue per year, okay? But I generate 100% return every time I buy one, and I turn over the inventory 2 times in a year. So I order 100, and then I sell that 100, and then I double my money, and then I reorder it again from the profit, and I double the money again. So it's like I create 200% return on this product. And it's a very simple product. I can't patent it because it's just rings. But every year I generate 200% on $1,000, right? So now I could possibly generate even more money because I sell this for about $25, $27, and by the time Amazon subtracts everything, I get a little bit less. But the bottom line, it costs me about $9 to produce one. Okay. Now I could lower the cost if I invested about $20,000 to make a plastic injection mold. But it's not worth it. It's not worth it for me because this product doesn't generate enough sales for me to invest $20,000 in order to reduce my unit cost, let's say from $9 to maybe $3. It doesn't make any sense. So I keep paying that $9 because what we do is we order plastic sheets, and we have a guy that's close to our house, cuts it out with a laser and just delivers it cut out like this, and then I just package it, ship it to Amazon, and I don't even have to do anything because when Amazon sells it, they just once a week actually deposit the money from the sales into my account, and I don't even have to ship it. But it's another example of a product that, for the amount of capital or for the amount of labor that I put into this, it generates, like 200%. And again, it's just such a tiny, specific product that it's really not worth for anybody else to do it but me. A big company, what good is $5,000 in revenue is going to do for them? Nothing. And if a product like this were to create serious money, then there would be copycats doing it. But because it generates so little money, it's not even worth copying it. But because it's so unappealing to everybody else, it's appealing to me because on such a tiny scale, I'm able to generate returns. And so these are examples of products, and these are examples of things that you can generate returns on outside of investing. And another area that that I am heavily involved in is microcap or small cap companies because of the same reason. Recently, on microcap explosions, I wrote about another interesting investment opportunity that I found. And I was thinking to myself, if the revenues of this company were 5 times bigger, this company would be valued 20 to 50 times from the current market cap. And I look at the business, and it's truly amazing some of the things that you can find when you look. And this company is like, switching costs are huge. Customers, like 97% of customers return every year. The company grows revenues every single year. It has no debt. It doesn't really have a direct competitor. It has huge insider ownership. And if it wasn't for COVID hurting this business, like short term, the stock would already been like 3x from now. And I'm looking at it and I can see the vision. I can see this company within a few years easily being trading on NASDAQ and having a market cap 20 to 50 times the current valuation. And yet nobody's paying attention because it's too small for them. it's too illiquid for them. So the biggest risk is that you buy a company like this and the next day someone wants out and then the share price gets crushed 30% because someone decided to wake up one morning and they needed money. But when it comes to the business itself, you look at it and you're like, wow, this is going to be a huge win if I'm going to hold it for 5 to 10 years and just not touch it. The risk is so little. Because of COVID, the revenues got cut more than in half, and yet the company was able to cut the expenses and turn a profit during such an environment. And now with the recovery stocks and the recovery happening from COVID with the vaccine underway, this thing is going to be like a rocket ship. And you could never find those kind of opportunities in the sumo wrestling racers because they're just simply not available. But when you roll up your sleeves and go after opportunities that these guys cannot even dream of touching, you can uncover opportunities that are just almost too good to be true. So yeah, so that's my video for today. I think that, it's great. It's great to be reading and getting information and getting investment ideas from the great investors all over the world. But I think that we all as individual investors that are not billionaires, millionaires, we have so many opportunities like right in front of us, even in our lives, that can generate much bigger alpha, much bigger returns than we could do by following the greatest investors of all time simply because they have so much money, and as a result of that, they are cut off from the kind of opportunities that we as individuals have.